And we are underway in Buffalo. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the guy out of California, the former Cal Bear, Jared Goff.
And at one point, the ascension of Jared Goff was really, really strong. Back-to-back Pro Bowls, took his team to the Super Bowl and came really within one quarter of winning it. But since that time, he's had bouts of inconsistency, and that's been the struggle for him as he tries to get back to the form he showed earlier in his career.
They'll run for the first time with a speedster, Jahmyr Gibbs. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
Just beating the play clock is Goff. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. It'll be a gain of 5. And now third down and 6 to go. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Goff. Setting up the screen. This is Gibbs. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Third down and 13. Now Goff. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. Touchdown, Detroit. Jahmyr Gibbs, 65 yards. And the Lions have taken the early lead on the road here in Buffalo. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield in the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
A try here for the extra point. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead 7-0. A drive that time of 6 plays. And Jahmyr Gibbs finished it all off with a touchdown grab. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Out comes the offense for the Bills, led by their quarterback at 6'5". That's Josh Allen.
And in this league, there are many quarterbacks who have their most success running the ball, while there are others who have big arms. But there aren't too many guys who can do both. And at the end of many games, this guy leads his team not just in passing, but in rushing as well.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Next to receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Palmer going in motion right. Snap comes at 1, and it's Allen. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. Well, that's not the way you want to start. A first pass attempt and a first drop all in one.
Well, you've got plenty of time to make up for it, but obviously not the way you want to get things started. Got to shake that off and get going.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. To the air, Allen. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Bills first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3-and-out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the first down.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Throwing now is Allen. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. Following the interception, they're set up nicely here, already inside the red zone, knocking on the door, if you will. 1st and 10. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. After the interception, here's Goff. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
2nd and 10. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Jared Goff to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
Extra point attempt to come here. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So here come the Bills out for their second drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
Coming right, this is Cook on the toss play. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Allen. That's caught. It's Coleman. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Allen going to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, partners, the first quarter, too early to start talking about needing a comeback. They're down 2 touchdowns already, and that sack, that disrupts this drive. They need something to go right on offense, and they need it to happen soon.
4th down, so Jake Camarda is out there. Back deep, Khalif Raymond. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense and Jahmyr Gibbs headed back onto the field. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him because he is eating them up right now. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
He'll get this one to Patrick. A gain of 8 there on the play. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. To throw is gone. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another first down, almost back to the drawing board.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Here's 2nd and 3. Now a play fake, and it's gone.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
The touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Goff now looking to throw. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Goff and Williams hooking up there for a Lions first.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Goff. Finding Williams once more, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 10 more for him on that one. He's been a busy man. It's a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Back to throw. Goff.
That's caught. It's Sam Laporta.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time.
On 4th down, on is Jake Bates for the Lions field goal.
It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt.
Bates' kick is good.
And that'll make this 17-0 here in the opening quarter.
So a great first quarter continues here as they add on to that lead.
And Brandon, I think it sets up what's going to be an important drive because it's now 17-0. So the other guys, they got to figure out something quick before this game gets away from them.
So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
And the Bills getting set to go. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Now Allen. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Allen.
Got an open man. It's Josh Palmer.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a first down.
A bit of a jump there, CD. He breaks the line, and that'll be 5 yards.
And you've got to stay more disciplined than that, Brandon. That's just a free gift to the offense.
Here's a 1st and 10 now after they successfully drew him off sides. Cook following the penalty. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Allen.
He'll get this over the middle here to Palmer.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused and moving in the right direction.
Cook up the gut, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Jack Campbell running him down behind the line.
$17-0 our score after one. Second quarter now in Buffalo. It's the Bills in control of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 13 forthcoming. Here's Allen. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Coleman. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now we've got a 3rd and 3.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Palmer going to go in motion left.
Here's Allen to throw it.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Up the middle, it's Cook. And they'll get him down right about the 20. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Allen now looks to throw. Buying time to his left. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Josh Allen, very athletic at 6'5", showing the versatility, picking up the first on the scramble.
Oh, man. Just when the D thought they had the answer for him, he went and changed the question. Surprises him by taking off himself. He's able to set up his offense pretty with a 1st and goal.
Palmer going to go in motion left.
Operating from the gun, Allen. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
And now they'll throw with Allen.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
Touchdown!
James Cook
Taking it in.
And the Bills get a bit closer.
Didn't have anything downfield, swung it out to the flat. He did the rest.
Such a staple of so many offenses we see now. You know, in our discussions with offense coordinators, how many times do they tell us, hey, this offense is designed for either a touchdown or a check down? We saw the check down on that play, and boy, was it successful.
We saw a touchdown, too.
And Tyler Bass on for the extra point attempt.
And it's 17-7. So that drive, 12 plays in length.
And it was James Cook finishing things off with a touchdown catch. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Detroit's offense ready to take over.
And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge.
Going back to Gibbs on first down.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It was Joey Bosa working his way in to bust that one up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Goff now to throw. It's Williams on the catch. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
In motion goes the tight end. Here's Goff.
Throw over the middle. He finds Williams.
And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. To the air, Allen. Setting up the screen for Cook. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
From the gun, it's Allen. Right back to Cook for another completion. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Throwing now is Allen. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
Flying in for that sack, Aiden Hutchinson. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That is caught. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They run the counter with Cook, and he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 4.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Allen going to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bills first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. He couldn't get the edge there. It wasn't sealed, so maybe not all on the guy running the football all the time on those tosses and the pitches that go to the outside.
No, not at all. I would agree with that totally, because sometimes the defensive guys, they win the edge battle. And when they do that, there's no place for the running back to go, and especially for offensive linemen trying to get out ahead. With their footwork and speed, it was negligible on that play. No gain at all for the offense.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Allen from the gun on 3rd down. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 20-yard line. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on 3rd.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
Motion man is Shakir.
Now Allen.
Shakir hauls it in.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
2nd down and 3. Motion man is Shakir.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. That's to Cook out of the backfield.
And the Bills are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Now Allen off the bootleg.
That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively at 2nd down.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them up the scoreboard here.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Now Allen. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Now after the sack, here's 3rd and goal from the 20. Allen. He's able to get it to Coleman. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown.
Keon Coleman.
A 20-yard touchdown.
And the Bills get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done.
Here's Bass now for the extra point.
And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. And what a drive that was. 16 plays all told. And it culminates in a Bills touchdown.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Lions now taking over late in this first half.
And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead. But a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. Off play action. Here's Goff.
That's complete to the Porta.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Play action. It's Goff.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. To throw is Goff.
Got St. Brown running the quick slant here.
The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Here comes 3rd and the length of the football.
Gone.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
In motion goes Patrick.
Now a play fake, and it's Goff.
Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff.
The throw out wide going to be incomplete.
So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. And this one is no good. He missed it. And that will keep this a 3-point game.
One of the few things that hasn't gone right in this first half. They had a chance there for late points, but this one winds up off the mark.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
The Lions got a very strong performance out of their quarterback, Jared Goff. He came out of the gate smoking hot with 2 first-quarter touchdown passes to help steer his guys towards this halftime lead.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
A field goal the difference. 17-14 is the score. Back underway here now in this 3rd quarter.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Bills' offense and running back James Cook heading onto the field. And you look at his numbers as a pass catcher in this one. They've lined him up in different spots, shifted him around, and made him a real weapon in the passing game. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's second down at a yard. Here's Allen. And his throw here's incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll run it. Here's Cook. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
The Bills send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the second time. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Lions offense and Jared Goff set to take over once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Drive starts with a run from Gibbs. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. In motion right, that's Williams. He'll get this one to Patrick. And he makes it all the way down to the 19. A big play there for Detroit. 49 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. They'll fake the give. Now Goff. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches. And they'll send Williams in motion right. Quick toss by Goff is complete. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield, and if you're more than a yard downfield, it's...
And in for the Lions, touchdown! Jamison Williams hauling that one in from Jared Goff. And the Lions are able to widen their advantage. Had the option there, read it perfectly, and an easy little touchdown toss.
And it has to be a sharp throw, too, because of where they are on the field. The extra traffic, things are condensed near the goal line. Good route by the receiver as well.
Point after here coming up. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. 5 plays there on that drive.
And it was Jamison Williams wrapping things up with a touchdown.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Bills offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And he's had his fair share of troubles in this one, unfortunately. This defensive front has wreaked havoc throughout the contest, and he hasn't been able to create enough space to make something positive happen to this point.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They're down now 24-14. Work to do as they come up on a 1st and 10.
And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Here's 2nd and 7.
From the gun, it's Allen.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw, it's Allen. And that will be incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Well, the Bills send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. Taking it about the 16. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Now it's Goff.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, here's Goff. That is caught. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. He's up to 70 yards receiving now as that last catch gets him a first down.
This is a nice job of just taking what the defense is going to give you on third down. You're not looking for a big play downfield. You just want to find something that can get you past the marker. They found it and were able to keep the drive moving.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Goff. Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37.
Goff throwing again. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Back to throw, Goff.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the first down.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and a yard.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Here's Goff.
He gets this out wide to Gibbs.
2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Gibbs straight ahead.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now a 2nd and 6. Another run for Gibbs here.
And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
To the sideline and incomplete.
So 2 third-down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with 4th down.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And the lead will hold at 10. Well, it's still a good-sized lead, so they haven't necessarily needed him, but this is now 2 missed field goals for him in this game so far.
Yeah, and the question now is, will he be prepared when they do need him? Whether that's later in this game or sometime down the line, having a kicker you can count on is definitely imperative.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going. Well, how about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Cook running right. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Allen going to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Not only was it a double move route, it was the dreaded post corner for any defensive back, because you think that he's going all the way to the post in a deep route, and then he breaks it off to the corner. That's hard to flip your hips and get there.
Well, he didn't flip him in time. Big play. They'll try the middle with Cook. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves,
all right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone, and the Lions are going to get the football here at their own 23. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know, for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
51 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on 2nd down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
Goff now looks to throw. Setting up the screen. This is Gibbs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
From the gun, Gibbs will get it.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
Goff now looking to throw. And he can't hang on to it, and the screen never got started.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, You can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down. And that's going to do it. Clock hits zeros. They're not going to get another playoff. Time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Buffalo. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. Now back to the ground. Here's Gibbs. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 15 yards for the Lions there on a first down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Goff. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
In motion goes Patrick. Straight ahead with Gibbs here.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
On third down, here's Gibbs.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
Jahmyr Gibbs with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Lions are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game.
And here on third down, your number 1 goal, don't be a hero, just get the first down. But here, once he gets past the line of scrimmage, the field opens up for him, and he's able to take it right up the gut and into the end zone.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. That time, a 9-play drive.
And it was all capped off by a touchdown run from Jahmyr Gibbs.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest. And this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Palmer going in motion right.
Here's Allen to throw it.
That's caught right side by Palmer.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Motion man is Shakir.
To the air, Allen. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
That incompletion brings us one step closer to the end of this one. Maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise, they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
The offense on third down tonight, they've had plenty of success. 8 conversions, looking for a 9th. This is 3rd and 4. Slot man moves right. And again, it's Allen.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And the throw and the catch were just fine. But against zone coverage, when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
Throwing now is Allen. This is Coleman with a grab. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Give to Cook out of the gun. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Allen now looks to throw.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Allen.
That's completed right side to Palmer.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
That's to Cook out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. I think you would agree, just a good decision right there. Goes for the safe play, gets some yardage out of it.
And showed some toughness as well. As you noted, he stayed right in there. Saw the rush was coming, hung in there, took the hit, dumped it out to the outside, and now they pick up some yardage, and you have a back that's grateful to you and will continue to make plays.
Again, they'll throw with Allen. And it's caught. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well, great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now this likely a must-have, 3rd and goal. Cook.
What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
The kick by Bass is good, and that will close the gap down to 14.
Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. And Detroit back in possession of the football. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And that's just an ideal run to start this drive because they're in full ball control mode now. So if you keep ripping off 7, 8, 9 yards of carry, you're going to have a great chance of finishing off this game.
2nd down, and they go back to Gibbs. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 119 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction.
They'll go again with Gibbs.
And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line.
Ed Oliver through the line and hitting him for the loss.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
2nd down and 8. In motion goes Patrick.
Now Goff.
Got St. Brown running the quick slant here.
And he's got a 1st down as a tackle made at the Bills' 42. It's a 10-yard pickup, and that's enough to move the chains.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Out of the gun, they'll give to Gibbs.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Here's Goff. Keeps himself upright. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's third down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass, and sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that, and that's why they're able to get to him on it.
That penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward. An extra defensive back here for the Bills on third down. Following the penalty, Montgomery. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
This has been a tremendous drive to this point, and this is all you want, playing with a lead in the fourth quarter. If you can keep the ball on the ground, keep the sticks moving, you're going to be in good shape to finish this one off.
On the give, here's Gibbs.
And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
2nd down, and they go back to Gibbs. And he will be brought down, but a 1st and goal coming up as we have come upon the 2-minute warning. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll run with Gibbs.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. Second and goal from inside the 5.
Gibbs.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
They'll try to run with Gibbs.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Lions have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. That one in the books as a 12-play drive.
And it was all capped off by a touchdown run from Jahmyr Gibbs.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Buffalo offense back out ready to go. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Now Allen. That's complete to Palmer. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it 2nd down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down.
That is caught. And he is going to have a Bills first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
Well, you can absolutely feel the thought process there. They just gave up the touchdown. So in the huddle, they're telling each other, you don't want to give it back now on a 3-and-out. Nice job of making sure that they wouldn't, and they pick up the first down.
Now Allen. A short throw pulled in by Kincaid.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter.
Here's Allen. That's going to be caught. It's Palmer.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say good night from Buffalo.